Hello, friends, and welcome to the Soul Material Podcast, the podcast and channel you cheer for. I'm the OGEO,
And T. Martin, the Street Shark.
and we're going to take you there like Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Every 4 years, you already know what's going down. It's Olympic time, and what we're going to do here, the podcast you cheer for, is take you down memory lane and get to the current. But I'm going to kick it to the Shark himself, so we can have a little bit of show and tell to go down that Olympic trail of the kicks that made us. Shark.
There you go. USA basketball, that's what we're talking about right now. So, collections galore of different brands that, always representing for USA and on that world stage. All right. So we're talking Olympics, not world basketball championships or nothing like that. No, the top of the top, gold medal or bust. All right. So we can't start USA basketball conversation without referencing at least one player from the original Dream Team 1992. So I'm just going to get it started. We're going to rapid fire. We're going to go pretty quick before we get into more storytelling and more of that sneaker business talk. But right now, we're just giving you that nostalgia that the OG talk about, that clarity over popularity. So here we're talking about Scottie Pippen. All right, with the Air Light mid over here. Flight light. All right. Flight light. All right. We love the flights. These are choked up with the factory laced over here, but you got that gold flight on the tongue, gold accents on the heel. All right. This is classic USA basketball. All right. I wish they made the retro a little bit better because the leather on here is a little cheap. I've never worn these, but the box creases are a little. Yeah, but this is nostalgia. We cop these on sale. Got some more gold action on the bottom as well for the Nike logo. So, yeah, just starting off. Dream Team, 1992. Scottie Pippen laced them up. Classic model. All right. This is the era of like black and white shoes. So when you get the white with the blue and the touch of red and the accents of gold,
Something special.
take us home. All right. So, yeah, there you go. So, OG, show us a model that's classic, on court memory, USA basketball.
My favorite of all time from one of my favorite athletes. Ain't got to say much. Y'all already know. 24 years ago, year 2000, the dunk, Mr. Vince Carter, the Boings, the afro, the attitude, the demeanor, him against the
Yes.
world, literally. The man, the trade. It was everything Vince. And even seeing KG, that's all I remember more than the dunk was KG's reaction. Y'all know what it is. Year 2000 Olympics, the dunk, one of the best in-game dunks of all time, world display. Vince Carter, the Boings, year 2000, baby. Back to you, Shark.
Yeah, I'll just let that marinate for a second. He literally jumped over a 7-footer and cleared him. Like, come on. And then that scream where he yelled and had to shake it off like he had water in his pants or something like one of them. You know what I'm saying? Classic. And yes, KG. What was KG wearing that day? I know you know them flight positive. All right. So go back to our flight positive episode where we talked about all of those and our customization episode where the OG customized the flight positive. All right. But up next, we're gonna fast forward a little bit more, but we're gonna go to young LeBron. All right, so we got LeBron twos. All
That
right,
young ball. The
this
chosen one.
the young LeBron unfortunately was not given the full opportunity to. He was on the squad, but you wasn't getting you and Melo and D Wade weren't getting the full playing time early on in your career, and then you came back and started redeeming yourself. But when they were early in the game, wearing the first version of Soldiers, and then some of these, so we got the Olympic run here. All right, so again, but I love because I call this Akron blue as well. You know, you know what I'm saying. I love the tribal prints on here because again, this is the old LeBron logo. All right, with the laser. All right,
Laser.
and then you got the the lion lasered on the side too, and the big strap. So yeah, just LeBron twos, something light. All right, but I'm just gonna keep the party going. And since we talked about that tribal print, it took off. It took another life of its own by the time we got to the Redeem team. All right. So salute. This was the Nike Hyper Dunk. All right. And who unveiled these? That would be none other than the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. All right. LeBron rocked them too, but for a little bit in the ad campaigns. But this was exclusively showcased by Kobe Bryant.
And shout out to one of the best alley hoops of all time, again on the world stage. That Dwayne Wade to Kobe alley hoop with him wearing those. One of my favorite plays
Oh
in
yeah,
basketball.
the over the shoulder whoop whoop whoop.
Yes,
Yes, you know what I'm saying. So we have, but this is more 3M. So let me catch the light where you get that print. But this is the United We Rise campaign behind there. United We Rise, and then you got the 3M tribal print on here with the wings, and you got the Olympic flame right here. These were just classic, and you got that fly wire material on that upper. This was the first little fused upper that was going on over at Nike. This is what we were talking about. Like, where's the technology innovation in the new curves? This was the big deal at that time for Flywire. All right, Flywire. And if you're paying attention, and you're been following the Soul Material podcast for a while. We actually told you a story about this in our last season, but now we're getting to give you some extra show and tell because we get to show it off before. But this was a sneaker friend moment between your two hosts right here, the OG and the Shark. So the OG happened to find these, gave me a call. Money in the bank transfer. Look at that, Marshalls. What's that price right there? $49.99. All right. Appreciate you, OG, for looking out for the shark. This isn't going to exist anymore. Hey, people, this is what we talk about: art of
time
acquisition.
to be alive
This was in Marshalls, just chilling. All
with
right,
the box.
with the
Tissue
box,
paper.
and you got these in Richmond, Virginia.
Yes, sir.
It's not. I didn't get them in the DMV where we're flooded all over the place. These came to Richmond. So shout out to RVA. Thanks for the truck stopping and dropping these off so we could find them. So yes, and then last but not least, you got that USA on the inside, just like the jersey. All right, and move that out the way.
And I'm a sucker for metal lace locks, so that's another touch.
Yeah, because we got the gold speckles on here first of all, and then bada bing, bada boom,
Metal tips.
gold medal. Yes, not the plastic, the gold. All right, gold medal. All right. So now one more. Just fast forwarded to a member of the current team. All right, we got Kevin Durant.
D&D's on.
This is the KD 15. All right. But this is the gold medal USA edition. All right. Came with the red laces, factory lace, but you also got your gold and your blue, to come with you. You got your red and gold. You got some speckles on the midsole right here. Red and gold. Got the red swoosh on the interior. Oh, I love this marbled swoosh right here. Right there. That's classic. Look at the detail on the tongue. On the toe box. And then more importantly, one reason I wanted to show everyone this is just look at the tongue. All right. Here we have KD's USA basketball stats. All right. The games, average, and the years that he played for the Olympics. Right. All right. And then we'll add up another one for this year. So this is a Nike signature athlete on the current USA basketball team that's about to try to take home that gold medal in Paris this summer of 2024. All right. So let's talk about the new team. What's going on? Because, they've only been practicing for a couple days, had one exhibition game, and we've had some players come in, drop off, and now has caused a little bit of controversy. So, or food for thought, that is. So that's why we're going to pick that part of the story up over here, give you some clarity over popularity. So let me hand it over to the OG. you can recap what happened and start with, and then share some of your thoughts.
Definitely. Well, of course, the memes have been real with Kawhi going Kawhi, of course, as we are already expecting, anticipating, usually with him um, now not necessarily dropping from the Olympic team, but it being the decision of uh, the Clippers management as well as the Olympic Committee to say it would be best for him to dissolve himself from the team. And he was replaced by Derek White, who just won a ring with the Boston Celtics. But there's some controversy because sources and legitimate sources have Jaylen Brown a little bit upset. And he's upset because he thinks, from a political standpoint, that Nike has pulled a move in which he should have been selected and he's been snubbed. But for you guys who are unaware, he has been very critical of Nike. If you see him wearing Nikes, he usually has the swish removed from his shoes. He customized a lot of shoes, or has them customized, and he says his slogan is not just do it, it's do better. So, as we all know, Jaylen Brown is Jaylen Brown, but I wanted to get to the Shark with his take because I found it very discouraging that we have a young man who literally just came off Finals MVP, young guy, no injury history whatsoever, ready to go, and he is snipped by, of course, his very well contributing teammate. But has there ever been a time where a Finals MVP who plays the same position as the guy who's just been dissolved from the team or just left the team, plays similarly defensively, offensively, two-way player, it would be easy transition. And he's claiming, because what he's done as far as supporting Kyrie and, the politics between Kyrie and Nike, and him really having a big voice supporting Kyrie and the things that he's done with Nike, Nike sponsoring, Nike kind of not only giving him the shrug, putting the rug from underneath them, but also saying, hey, we're going to pick your teammate. So how real does it get as far as taking a shot or getting a knife, to the back? And Shark, I'm not sure how much legitimacy this is, because you have your conspiracy theorists, but him, it seems like a lot of the sources that he is using to get his voice out there are saying that this has some substance to it. So when there's smoke, there's fire. And wanted your take on it, because I think there's some truth to what Jaylen Brown, what his beef possibly can be, and what continues to be now with his jabs at Nike, and now them jabbing him back.
Yeah. So let's just dissect really quickly. We give you that clarity over popularity, give you those layers of the detail. Let's just take a moment to just reflect on who Jaylen Brown is. All right.
Mm,
This dude's a scholar. All right.
mm,
He's not a just Joe Schmo with random opinion without educated facts. All right. He has grown in his game and his self accountability. So he's someone who we should respect more when he's talking. All right. Because he actually don't talk a lot.
mm,
So if he doesn't, and we know that he is extremely philanthropic and someone who is activist, not only in his community, but the city of Boston, knowing that there's the history of racism is still alive up there, and how much he wants to, how much he solicits conversations with politicians and community leaders to say, let's have more conversation, right? And these are the things that he's doing. He's starting these conversations, but you see who's not participating. We have no confirm nor deny from Nike, and I don't think we're gonna get one. When it comes to the coaches, you can just talk to the coach. We got Jerry Colangelo, we got Coach K, you got Grant Hill being the general manager of the operation over here now with USA Basketball. So it's a sophisticated operation, but to replace Kawhi Leonard with a non-Kawhi Leonard player, like Kawhi Leonard, if who's the next person that's like Kawhi Leonard? It's Jaylen Brown. You have the 2-3 wing. You can lock up 94 feet. That's probably what your role really gonna be more of. You know what I mean? And you can put in that high energy in short spurts because you got so many rotational players. So and then you have a championship team. You have the Eastern Conference Final MVP. You got the Finals MVP that doesn't make the team, but 3 other people on your team make it. Okay, what? What's going on here? Derek White. Shout out to Derek White. I heard that Grant Hill said that it's the role that Derek White is going to play. But so what role was Kawhi going to play?
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not the role that Kawhi was going to play. So why? That's supposed to be someone else. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need another Devin Booker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already got, like, you need another lockdown defender. And was anybody watching the finals the way that Jaylen Brown was really locking dudes up and getting steals, getting those extra possessions, getting those offensive rebounds to keep things alive? Like, that's what we need. They're right. You're not going to do all that. You're going to be creating space, keeping the floor space, but you're not going to be active. You're not going to be shooting the lanes like Jaylen Brown did on both ends. So that's just who Jaylen Brown is, who he is as a player, who he is as a person. So, and you mentioned all his, his outspokenness with Kyrie and others. He wore Kyrie's shoe in the All-Star game. Yes, he's blacking out Nike shoes. He's using his platform the right way. Why are you getting punished? Why is there something else? So I think now he called out Nike himself. So that's what starts this debate of, out of all the people you're going to call out, you called out the shoe company? What's going on? So because someone else has a similar story that told some things on the podcast recently, and that would be Baron Davis. All right. Baron Davis, back in the day, early 2000s, all-star, with the Charlotte Hornets and really coming into his own. And he had a season where he had just finished averaging like 23 and 8, and he doesn't even get a tryout. But like, he even calls his name out. Respect, Luke. If you're a hooper, these type of players that can really ball. Luke Rittenauer, he's a Kirk Heinrich type of guy. But you're not Baron Davis. How do you get to the camp in a potential spot on the squad, but not Baron Davis? And then at the time, I think the guards, what did they say? Like Iverson, Marbury, and Richard Jefferson was your wingman. Like, really? Were we trying to win?
Just put a pin in that for people who are unaware of Baron Davis. This was at his peak and at his prime. And Baron Davis was basically a Ja Morant with Scottie Pippen type strength. Like, his jumping ability, his mobility, and his strength was off the charts. And this season that you're talking about, Shark, let's not forget, he averaged 2.3 steals. So he was one of the best defenders as far as two-way guards.
He was two-way. He would lock you down. And when Baron was in it, he would, and when he was motivated, he would get it. And then them Charlotte Hornet days, because he had that bounce, because he had knee problems in college. I think part of the issue was college, because Coach K was part of the program, and he went to UCLA but Duke was on the cliff. So politics, as usual, may have came into play. Maybe not the sneaker company, but remember Baron, he was at UCLA. They were wearing Reebok, and then he got to the league. He was wearing Nike, but it was just a generic Nike deal. Later on, he joined Reebok and had his own PEs. And then he was one of the first people to start doing the Li Ning and Chinese brands. Like, people forget that Baron Davis was like the first one with Li Nings. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we got to give him his props. And he, just like Jaylen Brown, don't be unassuming. Okay, you don't go to these schools or dummies. You know what I mean? Go to Cal, Berkeley, go to UCLA. You gotta get the grades to get in them schools, people. Baron Davis has an immaculate business portfolio that no one will ever know, especially in media. You know what I'm saying? So let's put some respect on Baron's name. You know what I mean? So, but back to the matter at hand. Politics. So this one isn't surface level for us. So it's interesting to see how this will play itself out over time. But I think I saw something that said that this will be the first time that 3 players that won a championship go win the gold medal in the same summer. And you telling me that is not going to have Jaylen Brown's name on it, the Finals MVP? There's just something weird about this. We all know that Jason Tatum and arguably Drew Holiday could have had some Finals MVP voting, because it was like neck and neck with Tatum at least. But for the first two games, you was like Holiday's up there. So what does this say? I get that we need to put together the best team, especially in the international rules and stuff like that. But there's some more physicality that they let go. You want Jalen Brown or you want Derek White? Now, let me say this: Derek White, you're underrated on your defensive skills because
Mm-hmm.
that showed face in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
You sitting there blocking shots, meeting dudes at the rim where you're like, wait, what? You know what I mean? Chipping your tooth and all that other stuff. So I'm not knocking. I'm just saying you're
To
not
replace Leonard. Come on now. To replace Kawhi.
it just wasn't the same.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe there's some other things where people would say maybe Jalen wouldn't have accepted the role that they wanted to give him. But it's just like, give him an opportunity. You know what I mean? Because you want to keep him close because you don't know if there's anybody else that's going to go down before the real games start. You only get a couple days and then they have like 5 exhibition games. I feel like somebody else is going to drop off.
Mm. And maybe KD because of the injury to the
Yeah,
calf.
KD's already got the angle. I think he's gonna stick around because of who he is. Like you just keep him so that he can, even if he played 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just some others. Like I'm monitoring Embiid. We need the big, but
Mm.
we're recording this in real time, so he's already fouled out in a couple minutes of the first exhibition game.
Yep.
So you only get 5 of them. And I was watching the game, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. He got to adjust, but we might change some starting lineups because we're not like guard heavy this time, and they got LeBron with this point forward type of role, and then you really don't want Steph Curry bringing the ball up all the
Mm-hmm.
time, initiating your offense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's more of what LeBron's role is, a facilitator. And then you got Anthony Edwards coming off the bench, so you got another signature athlete coming off the bench. And he ended up being the leading scorer the last game, the first game, him and Steph Curry. So I think we have a lot of balance. Don't sleep on Bam Adebayo and Anthony Davis as well. But and you got Devin Booker out there in the D books. I don't know if any USA colors. And just that note, where are the brand collections for the Olympics this year?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they at?
Mm-hmm.
You only once every 4 years. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't put some red, white, and blue shoes together for every brand right now, at least 1 or 2, call it the pack, the Paris pack or whatever, and make up a story to align with your athletes. It's not just basketball. There's plenty other athletes out there for the Summer Olympics. Like who's sponsoring the 3-on-3? Men's and women's. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the ladies as well. I think we don't talk about them as much, other than the why isn't Caitlin Clark on here? Because the women's basketball program has been run airtight, way more than the men's. It isn't. This whole Jalen Brown, White, Derek White debate will never happen on the women's squad because you gotta earn them spots no matter what.
Facts.
So Caitlin Clark, you'll have yours in due time. You know what I mean? But nah, this team, they want teams that have been together. That's why you see 3 Las Vegas Aces and people that have already been in the USA program. Caitlin, you've been in it just not long enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you'll have your time. Just like she'll be the new Diana Taurasi. So why are you mad? Because how many Olympics has Taurasi been? Is every 4 years and you on your like 5th one or something like
Yeah.
that? Like this is
Yeah.
crazy. So Caitlin Clark, that's you later, just not now. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm interested to see how this pans out with Jalen Brown. I'm happy that he spoke up. We shouldn't be surprised, but he's he's. I think there's a reason why he called out the brand and not any other individuals, because I'm just gonna have confidence in his track record that he obviously knows something that we don't. All
Mm-hmm.
right, and when you have those athletes, those in the brands, and we're still in this tiptoeing era of PC ness, and Nike, you still react. You don't. You're not
No
as proactive
responding.
as you advertise yourself to be because you didn't get ahead of Colin Kaepernick, but you did. You supported him after nobody else did because you knew that that would help you stand alone. And now you have all these commercials and stuff like that. But like, why? What's wrong? Jalen Brown just said he want to have a conversation. If you're who you say you are, had a conversation and make something public to say we had a conversation. That will actually help your brand to know that you have an objective business eye, but then a human eye as well. And these are your consumers nowadays. They want to see where brands care.
Particularly in
Uh,
this climate, no question.
yes. So, like, you don't see the benefit of having the conversation?
And
Wow.
advertising the conversation as well.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, maybe it all doesn't work out in the end where he signs a official endorsement deal. Clearly, you have no interest in signing him to a PE deal. You know, the Finals MVP, who's been
Hello.
wearing your products, but just you don't want him to unmask the swoosh. He's already wearing the shoes. We know what they are. I don't care if they're doctored up or whatever, and customized for different artists. That's great. Freedom of expression, liberation. All right, but he's wearing your product, and you know it. So there's something there. Make make it make it better. Just do better. There's a reason why he says that. Yeah, and then I don't think he's going to be quiet about it. He's not being loud about it though.
No.
That's what I like about Jaylen Brown. If you ask him a question, he answers it. You know, he states his opinion and then he moves on and then calls back like, remember, this is what I was talking about. Oh yeah, this that's happening now, that's the same thing as this, and this person and this person. You know, at the beginning of the pandemic, you would see Jalen on the front lines, you know, all over the country at different protests and stuff like that. So he wants to be a man amongst the people. He wants to provide new opportunities. This is the great opportunity to create a shoe. Give him a 4-year, 5-year deal. Give him a shoe. Make him the shoe for kids or something like that, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if he has a personality that they want for that warmness of the marketability because he's too real. You know what I mean? You know, when you talk about us, we can't be but so honest.
Mm-hmm. To an
Before,
extent.
yeah, that the likability turns the other way just because you tell the truth. Um, so yeah, I really feel like there's an opportunity there, even if it's some philanthropic, community, charitable work that they can both attach their names to, rebuild a playground in Boston or something, and just build a bridge and get over this. You know what I'm saying? On behalf of, but I think it's still egregious that he don't get to try out or be around. Like, because now I want to know some more transparency from USA Basketball. Who
Definitely.
is on your list of reserves to call up? You mean to tell me out of that roster that you gave me, the number one person on the call up list was Derek White?
No harm, no disrespect.
Yeah, but I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying, there's a whole slew of players in a pool of USA Basketball talent. You know what I mean? If they was going to do that, you mean to tell me Derek White about to get significant time over the people that they already have?
Mm-hmm.
No. If you was going to do that, I was sitting there like, then why didn't you just keep Cooper Flag
There you go.
and keep the young kid and then give him and then make him the new Anthony Davis, where he just the cheerleader and you don't never play. You know what I'm saying? But you there and you're going to be that much better as a professional because you had that experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if they're allowed to do it with the. Well, I don't see why they can't do it because he's currently in college. They usually do it as the recent college graduate. You know what I mean? You get the Christian Laettner role, okay?
There you go.
You're just there because I was like, why did they put the one college kid there? You know what I mean? Because he was, from what I saw and what he been doing, like, he gonna be the dude. You know what I mean? So, shout out, come to the Wizards. Let me just put that down. Anyway, so like, I just didn't understand that move and the transparency of, but we know what shoes Derek White wear. That's
No
all I know.
question.
You know what I mean? I know who makes the uniforms for Team USA. I
There
know
you go.
that. I know Team USA loves seeing Anthony Edwards in USA Nike apparel because he getting all that attention with his Adidas shoes. Steph Curry, you just unveiled the Curry 12s.
Mm-hmm.
Very smooth, but you're
Mm-hmm.
still wearing a bunch of Nike stuff. You
There
know what
you
I mean?
go.
And then y'all can't drape a flag over everything like Michael Jordan in '92. So Nike, you're winning already, and you know this. This is why you paid that money to bid and be to outfit USA Basketball.
And not only you talk about winning, we've had discussions before where winning kind of heals everything. And you're talking about a winner. We're talking about not only the current finals MVP and current champion, like you said, but we're talking about a person on a team right now that's projected, rightfully so, to go right back to at least the NBA finals, or at least represent the East in the NBA finals again. So as far as a person who's trending upward right now, Jalen, Jalen Brown is at the top with Tatum, who's already on the
Yeah,
team.
and
So,
that's a great point about the winning. You are a winner. I get
mhm,
it. Derek Wright, you're a winner. All right. You won in San Antonio. You was doing it in San Antonio. Then they came and got you, but you have a specific role. You're not the star. You didn't carry the team to the winning. You're
there
a
you go.
part of it, right? But Jalen Brown, the Celtics been to the finals more than once recently.
Hmm.
And last time I checked, the first time they went to the finals, the only player that showed up was Jalen Brown. Like the whole series. And then they lost to the Warriors. And that was a humbling experience. And then they went back in the lab and he got his left hand game up.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Got his defensive lockdown game on. And then got in that get to the final shape because you knew what it was about. And then now when you got there and met a team that hadn't been there before, you was running circles around them
There you
because they
go.
were ready. They didn't have the endurance. They didn't have the final kick that you prepared for, that last win to run through the finish line. And that's why Jalen Brown, I couldn't argue it. I thought Tatum was going to get the Finals MVP. I know Jalen Brown deserved the Eastern Conference, but I thought the last game, with Tatum messing with him with a triple double, I thought he was going to get it. But they still gave it to Jalen, and I'm not mad. But it is a pause for concern. But at the end of the day, politics as usual. All right. Look what country we're in. We just don't want. We just don't want to. If we'll be talking about this more if we lose some game. If we lose a game, I know
Mm,
that much. Because that's the can of worms that we opened up is the what if. So that means they got to win every game and win the gold medal. Now you can still lose a game and win the gold medal. You know what I mean? But for pride, yeah, and who we are to the world, we need to beat everybody. But we got a tough pool, within the pool, and then we'll see where we're going. So I think that's a good way to wrap up this conversation. We could just keep going and speculate, so that's why we just want to stick to the facts. Put some more pieces on the table for our audience to just evaluate who these people are, who Jalen Brown is, why he's talking, and what his credibility is to say what's going on. And love to hear from our audience. So, we took some extra time for this episode just because you only get to talk about USA basketball once every 4 years.
indeed.
So leave us some comments on our YouTube page, on our Instagram page, and just let us know what you think about the Jalen Brown snub of the USA basketball team. Like we're talking about USA basketball snubs. Get that. A Finals MVP is a snub. So, final words from the OG before we sign off on this USA basketball edition.
Just to mock and quote Isaiah Thomas, I had the credentials. Jalen Brown has the credentials. And I'll leave it at that. Not saying this is a similar, but politics as usual. Jalen Brown has the credentials to be
Yeah.
on the team. So all you guys with the memes and everything on Instagram, y'all know where that comes from, man. It always pops up, particularly with us sneakerheads, when you miss out on a raffle or a lottery, or when you take an L on sneakers. That seems to always be one of the top 5 videos or memes that come up. So I just want to just end off saying that Jaylen Brown has the credentials to make that team. So not saying that that Derek White is John Stockton. I'm not saying that either way. It's just that egregious. But again, we talk about replacing Kawhi Leonard. There are some similarities, and you guys said there's some correlations to the snub being real and being political when you look at the credentials that are there. I'll leave it at that.
There you go. Talk about clarity over popularity. So, giving that realness, that sneaker business talk for the Soul Material Podcast. So, till next time, friends, it's T-Bar the Street Sharp.
And OGO. Until next time, peace to you.
Sneaker business talk. It's the Soul Material Podcast.